Your Excellency, the Chairman of our great party, the People's Democratic Party, the largest party in Africa, Alhaji Bamanga Tukur, Your Excellencies, the Executive Governors from Nigeria, Honorable Ministers, the representative of the Canadian Foreign Minister, members of the Diplomatic Corps, captains of industry, distinguished delegates, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start my speech by extending the sincere greetings and felicitations of Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And it is my pleasure for me to convey to you on behalf of the President and the government and people of Nigeria our warmest felicitations on the inaugural session of the Canada-Nigeria Investment Conference taking place in Canada's most commercialized city of Toronto. The traditional hospitality of the Canadian government and people have been quite evident in the warmth and courtesies extended to me and my delegation since my arrival in Toronto. The holding of the Nigerian-Canada Investment Conference is to strengthen the existing friendly relationship between our two countries, especially our commercial ties. The expectations of Nigerian government is that this investment conference will stimulate the realization of mutually beneficial economic dividends. Canada remains one of the most welcoming and profitable places for international business and foreign direct investment. According to Forbes magazine November 2012 studies, Canada remains the best country to do business among the G20 countries. Nigeria is therefore desirous to take full advantage of Canada's inviolable position in attracting her investors in the oil and gas, energy, transportation, infrastructure, communication, technology, health, mining, agriculture, housing, aviation, and security sectors for the Nigerian economy. Housing, aviation, and security sectors of the Nigerian economy, power and transportation are of great essence for addressing the country's economy. Presently, trade volumes between the two countries have grown from $700 million only in 2007 to about $3 billion by the end of 2012. Let me also extend our appreciation to the Canadian business community for finding time to attend this conference. Our appreciation also goes to the High Commissioner of Nigeria in Canada, the Canadian Council for Africa, executive governors, members of the National Assembly, honorable ministers, and representatives of relevant ministries, departments, and agencies of government for keeping faith with the noble ideals of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration transformation agenda and the continued drive to make Nigeria one of the best investment destinations and also to be among the top 20 economies in the world by the year 2020. Your Excellencies, distinguished captains of industries, ladies and gentlemen, it is pertinent to note that Nigeria and Canada enjoy excellent bilateral relationship at all levels. However, with the signing of the Binational Commission Agreement on the 23rd of April 2012, a new chapter of mutually strategic relations was also re-established, making Nigeria Canada's largest trading partner in the sub-Saharan Africa. In addition, Canada recognizes Nigeria's unique role in Africa and global affairs and expressed readiness to take good advantage of the investment-friendly environment provided through the economic, social, institutional, and political reforms introduced by the past and present administrations in Nigeria, especially in the last 1.5 decades. As you may be aware, the Nigeria-Canada Investment Conference is one good platform to showcase the two countries' economic potentials and also an avenue to discuss and formalize joint venture cooperations and partnerships in the various sectors where business and investment opportunities abound in our two great nations. Nigeria, as you know, already is endowed with human and natural resources with estimated oil reserve of 28.2 billion barrels and gas reserve of 165 trillion standard cubic feet, proven deposit of 34 solid minerals such as iron ore, tin, columbite, coal, lead, bauxite, and gold in many states of the Federation. Skilled labor, ready market with present population of about 167 million people, and access to ECOWAS market of about 300 million people. Nigeria is also a gateway to the Central and East African markets with the potential to bridge the Southern African market. Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria is seeking three things from this week conference. One, to attract foreign direct investment from Canadian firms into Nigeria. Two, to seek ways of increasing our export of non-oil products into Canada. And three, to leverage Canada's experience in using its vast natural resources as a bedrock of transforming the industrial sector and promoting value-added activities. Let me inform this gathering that in our effort to provide a business and investment-friendly environment in Nigeria, as well as ensure a competitive and level playing ground for all businesses, the National Competitive Council of Nigeria was set up in line with the recommendation of the World Economic Forum. Other various incentives introduced include unconditional transfer of funds or profits, net of taxes, of a foreign business enterprise, constitutional guarantee against nationalization or expropriation of foreign business by any government of the Federation, unrestricted repatriation of capital or remittances of foreign businesses, net of taxes and other legal obligations, in the event of sale or liquidation of the business. Free trade zones have been established all over Nigeria with a number of incentives approved by government as stimulus package, such as liberal exchange controls, no restriction on capital importation, 100% repatriation of capital investment, 100% foreign ownership, flexible expatriate quotas and tax concessions, etc. These measures are aimed at reducing production cost and ensuring competitiveness of product both at domestic and global markets. Also in place is the one-stop investment center for all investors from all over the world to register businesses in Nigeria and obtain requisite licenses and permits to operate within 48 hours. Imported consignments can now be cleared at the port within 48 hours, and a new pro-investment visa regime that enables a prospective foreign investor to be granted visa at entry point has been introduced, including a 3-year multiple business visa obtainable within 48 hours of application for all Nigerian nationals. Your Excellencies, captains of industries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, recognizing that infrastructure remains a serious challenge to competitiveness and profitability of doing business in Nigeria, the present administration in Nigeria has embarked on a number of reforms in transport, power, and energy sectors aimed at addressing infrastructural deficits and other supply-side constraints. Nigeria will welcome the cooperation of Canada in addressing this challenge, which Nigeria is tackling frontally. Nigeria also recognizes Canada's leading role in the global mining industry and your market's leading position in developing natural resources. Canada is a world leader in solid minerals, exporting over $80 billion of minerals every year, including nickels, copper, gold, iron ore, amongst many others. Canada's over 200 active mines currently produce more than 60 different commodities in commercial quantity. In this regard, we see a huge opportunity for Canadian firms to facilitate exploration, development, and production of Nigeria's vast solid mineral resources, which is still a virgin area. Nigeria has the potential to become a world leader in solid minerals, and we can expand this sector with Canada's deep industry knowledge. On the issue of security, Nigeria will not relent in its effort to combat crime and defeat terrorism in all its ramifications, and thus make Nigeria the best and desired investment destination in Africa. There is no doubt that Nigeria needs to expand its industrial base and acquire necessary technological skills to stimulate production and take advantages of market access opportunities created through bilateral, plurilateral, and multilateral treaties, as well as fora such as this. It is equally important to inform this gathering that the current administration's transformation agenda is anchored on abiding belief that the private sector is the engine for economic growth and prime mover of the reform process. This has informed our persistent effort at involving the private sector in the formulation and execution of our policies and programs. Therefore, the outcome of this conference have to be vigorously implemented and followed up by business entrepreneurs of both countries, while our government should serve as enablers for the growth of our economy with a view to doubling the current trade volume in the next couple of years, creating employment opportunities, wealth, diversifying the economic base through value-added exports, as well as enhanced revenue base of our dear country. As earlier stated, it is in this regard that yesterday the Investment Protection Agreement was signed in Ottawa after my meeting with His Excellency the Prime Minister of Canada. On this note, I have the pleasure to declare this investment conference opened. Thank you, and God bless you all.